Okay.
Always.
Now, am I supposed to be calling Mikey right now, or?
Yes, and you get my most recent email with the phone number on it.
Okay, let me do that right now.
I'll give you the number, but we're on the air, so we're not going to give out Mikey's number.
Right, while I dial out, can you folks tell the audience, he was accused by the Christian Coalition of America as being a gadfly, basically running around, trying to stir up trouble, and one of their legislative talking points for the year of 2010 is that they want to protect Christians in the military. They're trying to say that Mikey's is trying to destroy their religious freedoms, which, that's not the case at all. But can you guys, while I dial him, give a little bit of his very impressive background?
Well, first of all, I just want to say to that, those are talking points of rhetoric that are just, that just go out there and they are just seed with people who don't take the time to really understand what's going on. Anybody who would take a moment to look at what military religious freedom is about would understand this is not anti-religion. This is not anti-Christian. As Chris said, the majority
here goes.
of our clients are mainline Christians.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hi, Mikey, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi. Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us. We were just getting into your background, talking about how the Christian Coalition has basically, demonized you, calling you a gadfly, and that you're trying to destroy, their right to practice Christianity in the military, which is, so wrong. I mean, but you are an honor graduate of the United States Air Force Academy. You worked in the West Wing of the Reagan administration as legal counsel in the White House. Worked for law firms in New York, Washington, D.C., served as general counsel to Texas billionaire H. Ross Perot. I mean, you've got a very impressive background, and somebody in the chat room was mentioning to visit militaryreligiousfreedom.org because there's a very long biography there about all of your accomplishments. So a gadfly, I don't think you are. I really appreciate you joining the show. My name's Deborah. I'm the host here. And we were talking about, just the extent of this type of thing that's going on and emphasizing the fact that most of your clientele or the people that approach Military Religious Freedom Foundation for help are actually mainline Christians.
Right. Actually, I got a kick. Going back to the gadfly thing, that's so 2004. I mean, I'd love for them to just call me a gadfly. I mean, it's gotten. I've been called Satan's lawyer. Satan. The best one was, I think, from Jerry Falwell, that he called me, and then denied it, the field general of the godless armies of Satan. So it was. I have to chuckle when I hear gadfly because that was a long time ago and very innocuous. But yeah, Deborah, it really are not this week or next week, but the week after. Our foundation, and we have two board members. We have Leah, of course, and Ambassador Joe Wilson. There are two actual board members, and we have a pretty nice. Large set of folks, wonderful folks on the advisory board, but we'll go over 20,000 active duty United States Marines, sailors, soldiers, airmen, cadets, midshipmen, reserve and guard units, Coast Guardsmen, and veterans, and 96% of our clients are either Protestants of any number of different varieties. We have 21 different varieties of Baptists, and or Catholics. About 3/4 of that 96% are Protestants, and 1/4 are Roman Catholic. So that the other 4% are going to be, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, Wiccan, what have you.
Gee, well, that pretty much corresponds to the civilian population, I would guess, too, as far as religious affiliation. One of the things that just blows my mind when, I watched your documentary that came out, I don't remember when it was, 2007 or whatever, about your son.
Constantine Sword?
Yes, and I was just enraged when I watched that. So I spent quite a bit of time just going through the Internet, too, learning what I could. And the level of hatred that is expressed in comments to any stories about what you folks are doing, the help that you're giving is just unbelievable. I have never seen anything like it. except for, sent in your direction. And so then I started reading that bizarre case where Klingenschmidt and Ammerman were engaging in imprecatory prayers towards you. For those of you who don't know what an imprecatory prayer is, it's basically, they pull these prayers out of the book of Psalms and pray for people's death and harm and, that they don't have any food and just all this horrible stuff. And so, it had gotten so insane. What, they were at your house and throwing things at the house and all kinds of stuff, weren't they?
Well, we don't know the full extent to what they've done, and this is why we're suing them in state court in Dallas, Texas for we don't believe that for terroristic threats, intentional infliction of emotional stress, and a few other things. We don't view that as constitutionally protected speech. That's like trolling for assassins. They're asking Jesus. They won't stop. Our lawyers have said, "Look, we'll settle the case for no money. Just stop it." They keep praying to Jesus to slaughter my family, slaughter me, to plunder our fields, seize our assets, and wipe our descendants off the face of the earth for 10 generations. And this is a group called the Chaplains of Full Gospel Churches, founded by this person named Jim Ammerman.
We were just actually talking about Jim Ammerman, so this is the same person we were just talking about with the chaplains in Iraq distributing the Bible, so your listeners know this is the same person we were just talking about a few minutes before Mikey came on.
Right, and it's, this is a group that controls, by their own admission, 270 uniformed military chaplains or chaplain candidates. And in the past, they've done things like they've been associated with the calling for the deaths of Obama, Biden, Hillary. It was before Obama was president. Any number of crazy things, but it's just we're not going to put up with them issuing these imprecatory prayers. So that's what we do. We're suing them. And what's astonishing is that they stand there. They're in perfectly good standing with the technologically most lethal organization ever created by humankind, which is our Department of Defense. They've been benighted by the Pentagon to be the sole ecclesiastical endorsing agency for all of those chaplains and chaplain candidates. That's wrong.
And it incites these people into anger and action, and that, if they were sitting in a little closed room praying, I suppose that would be one thing, but it's inciting. You don't know who's going to hear those kinds of prayers and feel like they have to act on it. Like the guy that,
Let's remember that the Chaplaincy of Full Gospel Churches is a sister organization with the Prophecy Club in Topeka. The Prophecy Club is the former employer of Scott Roeder, who killed the doctor, Dr. George Tiller, the abortion doctor,
right.
2 years ago.